Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as we are here with our brand new series, PWUnlimited RankIT. So what this series is we're going to watch and review a number of matches that are all tied together, and then we're going to rank them. Basically, what the title is. We're going to rank these matches to tell you which ones are the best in this series, and say, hey, if you only want to watch the best one, go watch this one. If you want to watch the worst one, go watch this one. But we're doing the original TLC trilogy, and to be honest, none of these matches are bad. We're just going to tell you which are better than the rest. But Nick, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm super excited to do this because right before we started recording, I was reading on the WWE Network the little description for WrestleMania 2000, and I'll read it to you guys. This is Triple H defends the WWE Championship against The Rock, Mick Foley, and The Big Show in a Fatal 4-Way elimination match with the McMahon family in every corner. Right? All right, it's cool. Everyone remembers that match. And then you got the Dudley Boys defend the WWE Tag Team Championship against the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, in a triangle ladder match, plus a hardcore battle royal. Who cares? I forgot that since it's not the year like 1995 when this was a popular thing to do, I forgot that both the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys use fucking Z's instead of S's, and it blew my mind because now I was thinking about, like, that wasn't even popular when I was a kid, and I was a kid in the old XD fucking raw XD days. That's when I grew up, and no one put Z's at the end of their fucking words, and that was such a 90s thing to do. And it's weird to think that, like, in what year did the Hardys come back? 2017.
This last time they came back, WrestleMania 33.
Yeah. When they came back at Mania. Yeah, 2017. Like, just the thought of it being 2017 and these grown men are still referring to themselves as boys with a Z. Fuck, I love wrestling. I'm really excited to review this match because
WWE thought they were still hip with the times. Yeah, I remember.
You're all gonna hate.
Vince is an old guy that thinks he's hip. I mean, he sees LeBron in that suit with shorts.
Put up the picture of LeBron with short suit now. Anyway, everyone's gonna hate me. I haven't seen this match before. I've seen the clips, but I've never seen the match.
You've never seen the WrestleMania 2000 ladder match?
No.
Have you seen any of the three that we're gonna rank?
The third one.
So the WrestleMania 17, or my bad, X7.
Yeah, X7. I saw that one.
Gotcha. All right, well. So this match starts out, and Edge and Christian come down. They come out through the crowd. You know, they did it cool before the Shield did it cool.
Yeah, it's a fact. I don't care what anybody says. They also didn't, take time and do, dramatic pauses. They walked through that crowd and slid into that ring like it was made of baby oil.
And that was pre-Edge slide and hump the mat.
That's prime Edge, in my opinion.
So then the Hardy Boys come out. Hardy Boys, as Nick stated earlier, with a Z.
God, the letter Z. It's so cool.
And then the Dudleys, the champions, come out, and this match just breaks down instantly. Ladders, they don't really use ladders or anything for the first 4 or 5 minutes, maybe?
No. Well, I mean, if you don't count the Dudleys for some reason standing on one during their entrance.
Climbing up the ladder for their entrance, which is like, okay. And so they're climbed up on this ladder for their entrance, and you got Edge and Christian and the Hardys battling it out in the ring, and then finally Bubba with his blank stares like, oh, maybe we should get in there and fight. We're the champions. We don't want to lose our belts.
Yeah. No, I like that. I like the idea of, let these guys get worn out, and we'll attack when the time is right, though.
And here's the one thing
that's always my favorite spot, especially in these triple threat matches. Champions shouldn't have to go into the match immediately. I think that should be an unwritten rule.
And, if you were watching with us on Patreon or a YouTube member, you would have heard Nick's commentary of how many times they referenced Bubba and his long stare. Because Bubba showed no emotion. At all.
Yeah, no. Bubba looks like... Put up a picture of his face and make the caption right now on the screen, Tim. Top text, me win. Bottom text, Taco Bell drive-thru.
What? Is there?
Yeah, just do that for me, or I
trust you. Is there a backstory to this?
Nope. It's just me when I'm at the Taco Bell drive-thru, the blank face of
Oh,
desolation,
okay.
sadness.
That makes sense.
Shredded chicken quesadillas.
I thought there was some story about you and a blank stare at a Taco Bell drive-thru.
You ever just get really high and go to a Taco Bell, dude? I mean, that's
I
just
get
every
hungry.
Taco Bell.
I get hungry and go to a Taco Bell, but not high.
That's every Taco Bell experience I've ever had.
They got them rolled chicken tacos back. But anyways, we're not talking about Taco Bell.
Let's talk more about this show.
So, if you guys don't remember, this match here, this ladder match, came basically because the year before, Edge and Christian and the Hardys had the first ever tag team ladder match. Then I want to say 2 months before at Royal Rumble, the Hardys and the Dudleys had the first ever tables match. The tag team tables match. And so they said, hey, let's lump all three of these teams together, call it a ladder match because it wasn't TLC yet, as we didn't really know at this point yet that I didn't even think about it. Chairs were never used in this match.
No, I don't think I ever saw a chair used.
Because, again, this was only branded as a quote-unquote ladder match, and we never saw chairs used. So, once Edge and Christian started doing their concerto with the chairs, then, as we're going to talk in the next episode, they brought in the chair aspect, turned it into TLC. But some of the just wacky stuff we see in this match, just the crazy, like you were saying earlier when we did the watch-along part, is these guys don't care. They're just going to throw these ladders around and just hit each other with them. Like that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, there was no, plan.
I think I said it in there.
You're just going to beat the shit out of me with this ladder.
Right. I think I said it one time when Edge was hit with the ladder. He may have got his hands up in time, but he didn't really care back then.
This match was hardcore. This match was insane. This is not See, again, I really like these matches. Maybe because I didn't watch it live. I didn't watch it or when it was happening because I was 1 in the year 2000. But even watching it now, I'm like, man, I really wish I could go back and get invested into the whole storyline.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wish I could get invested into the Hardys, and I'm sure I would have been a Hardys fan over.
Well, that's what got me into wrestling. My friend showed me a Hardy Boys match when we were. He's like, "Hey, come watch wrestling with me." I was like, "Okay." I've seen it a couple times. And the first match that I saw on a Raw was a Hardys match, and I've been watching ever since. But anyways, so they finally bring the ladders into play, and the ladders are never nowadays. You see the guys take their time for the most part to set up the ladder, make sure it's sturdy. These guys were just popping those ladders open and climbing. It was like these ladders are bouncing
whether they
everywhere.
were fucking stable or not. My God,
So
these dudes were unafraid of dying, and I appreciate that.
There's a spot early on where Christian and Christian and Devon have a ladder in the corner, and so Edge comes over with a second ladder where there's barely enough room for this ladder to even fit next to the other ladder. And he climbs up. All three of these guys are up there. Edge's ladder is not stable at all, wobbling. They give Devon a superplex off of the ladder.
Yeah.
And then almost at the exact same time, you see Bubba crash into the ring steps. But your first reaction is, did Bubba just run into the ring steps? Because you don't see until 10 seconds later, Matt Hardy is over there, so Matt must have whipped him into the ring steps. It's what do we say? It's like the Damien Sandow stuff with the Miz, where Miz would take a bump, so he'd have to take a bump on the outside.
God, I honestly thought he was just so angry. He just said, fuck it.
Well, I mean, like I said, Bubba didn't emote throughout this entire match. They made a point, JR made a point to tell us that 4 times. So maybe, at first my thought was, Bubba got mad and shoved over the steps.
Oh, goodness.
So, finally, they're all in the ring. They got 2 ladders set up. You've got Edge, and I think at one point, Edge and Matt Hardy are on one side. You've got Christian and Devon on the other side. And Edge is maybe halfway climbed up this ladder, but he's trying to reach for the title. It's bro, you got 3 more feet to go. That's the one thing I've never understood about the ladder matches. It's how is it supposed to be that they think we're dumb?
Yeah.
As far as they're reaching We know that no one can reach it because you're not close at all. So what are you reaching for? The air?
They're just trying to cause a fucking breeze to move
I guess
the
if you
titles
want to put logic to it, they're putting their arm up to see how far away they are and see how much more up they need to climb. But if you just look, then you'll probably know, oh, hey, I got a couple more feet to go. One of the cool things that I don't think I had seen before this match, like I started watching wrestling in 1998, and I take that back. I did see this used in the first tag team ladder match with the Hardys and Edge and Christian, but it's that what they call the quote-unquote Wile E. Coyote cam, where it is a camera up above the ring looking down so you can see the perspective on how far down these guys are actually falling. And that just makes it super cool to see.
It's pretty hard, I'm not going to lie.
So at one point, Matt gives Christian a twist of fate off of the ladders, the two ladders set up in the ring. Edge then gives Jeff a Russian leg sweep, and the Dudleys start going for tables.
Finally.
Again, ladders were used because it's quote-unquote a ladder match, and tables were used because that's the Dudleys thing. And I guess this was before Edge and Christian, like I said earlier, really incorporated chairs with their concerto and all of that.
Oh, yeah, fuck. So, concerto, that was so cool.
Bubba goes over to the announce table, sets up a table, and he's got Matt Hardy. Devon sets up a table in the ring. He puts Jeff Hardy on top of the table. Bubba's set up for a power bomb again, blank stare on his face. Devon then does his little, what do they call that he does with his hand? It's like Mother, Father, Holy Spirit thing.
Oh, I don't know what it's called, but
he does his little hand cross thing. He then goes for a splash to put Jeff through this table. Jeff moves. Devon crashes through the table. Bubba then gives Matt a powerbomb off the announce table through another table. And talk about these tables for a second. They did not look like pre-cut tables right in the middle to just break in half. These tables literally just blew up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Hardy literally dismantled that table.
So the Hardy Boys are taken out. Matt's taken out for a little while. Devon, for some reason, gets up pretty quickly after splashing through a table. Dudleys bring more tables into the ring. They then set up two ladders in the middle of the ring and put a table on top, which would come into the finish later. Mm-hmm. So as they're climbing up there, they get pulled down. Everything spills to the outside. There's nobody in the ring for a few minutes. They're fighting on the outside, and then Bubba goes, you know what? I need a bigger ladder. But here's what I don't get. Bubba grabs this bigger ladder and sets it up halfway down the aisle. What kind of logic is that? Is he trying to use it to block someone from coming down or someone from going away? Because then he grabs a table and sets... I get he's setting up one of the most replayed spots we've ever seen.
Oh, maybe the theory was he set up the table and the ladder. He was going to take Jeff up and hit a Bubba bomb off of the ladder.
Maybe. It's just... Watching it, your first thought is... Why are you setting up a ladder on the aisleway when the titles are in the ring? But eventually we end up seeing Bubba and Jeff Hardy. Well, actually, I digress. Before this spot, Bubba had a ladder in his hand at ringside, a small, normal-sized ladder. And Jeff Hardy does the spot where he jumps up on the barricade, runs along the barricade, and he looked to, jump at Bubba for a clothesline. And Bubba, with just no regard for anybody's safety, just throws the ladder as hard as he can right into the gut of Jeff Hardy, and he just crumbles to the floor. Fly swatter spot, I call it. But back to this spot. Bubba and Jeff, they're fighting in the aisleway. Finally, Jeff gets the best of it, lays Bubba out on the table, takes his shirt off. Everybody, guys and girls, go nuts for Jeff taking his shirt off.
As you fucking should.
He then, for some reason, before climbing up the ladder, thinks, oh, Bubba, he's not moving. I want to make sure he doesn't move even more. So he just hits Bubba with his shirt once for good measure.
Good.
Climbs up at the top of this ladder. Cameraman gets in the perfect position. I would maybe be a little scared to be in this position because the cameraman's literally at the edge of this table looking up. Jeff does his swanton. Cameraman doesn't move, doesn't flinch. I'm surprised the cameraman didn't get kicked in the head. or at least the camera didn't get kicked when Jeff came off that ladder for the Swanton. So
fucking idiot.
We go back into the ring. You've got Devon left. You've got the Matt Hardy left. You've got Edge and Christian. Of course, well, Edge and Christian are going to work together. Matt and Devon, they're not going to work together. Finally, Devon gets taken out. It gets Christian and Matt Hardy climb up these two ladders. Remember, the ladders are set up in the middle of the ring with a table across the top. So Matt and Christian are up there. Finally, Edge also comes up there, and it's like, uh-oh, Matt Hardy's trapped. He either has to try and grab these belts really fast, or he's going, and he went. Took a front flip bump off of the top of these ladders, through a table inside the ring, and that's when I noticed, really, that these tables just exploded. Because that table was in at least 7 pieces.
Yeah, and good lord, if you guys want to hear my crazy reaction, I recommend subscribing to our Patreon, because my reaction was utter bonkers.
Finally, Edge and Christian up at the top of the ladders, on ladders with the table bridge. They grab the belts. They leave through the crowd. Bubba, for some reason, is just standing in the aisleway. Jeff Hardy's still dead. And Edge and Christian are your new tag team champions at WrestleMania 2000.
I like that match. It was fun.
Very fun.
Again, didn't appreciate the match when I didn't appreciate it mostly because I wasn't fucking able to watch it when I was able to watch it.
You're saying when you were younger?
Enough. Yeah, when I was able to comprehend it, I was still I never got fully into it. I didn't know the story. I didn't know anything. I just watched a crazy-ass match. And yeah, it was cool. And I still even think now, looking at it, I don't, even if I don't know the full stories that are in play with how this match came to be, it's so fucking fun to watch, bro.
And here's the thing about this match. This is a 22-minute match.
Didn't feel like it.
That feels like 10 to 13, 12 minutes. It does not feel like you're watching a 22-minute match. Because, and I know people may say, oh, would you criticize this nowadays? The pace of this match was so fast that you're watching and you're all of a sudden like, oh crap, it's over. And I know what people are going to say, oh Tim, you criticize the Young Bucks ladder matches and stuff like that all the time. But that's because in those matches nowadays, like take the ladder match, I think it was All Out, for example, where it was the Lucha Bros versus the Bucks. In that match, you can tell that they were setting up for the next spot, for the next spot, for the next spot all the time. In this match, other than Bubba putting that ladder in the middle of the aisleway, everything felt smooth, like, oh crap, that just happened, now we need to do something else. No, it didn't seem as planned out as you see some of these ladder matches today, is my thing. And just the pacing really feels like it's half as long as it is.
Well, I'll be honest, a lot, like you said, a lot of the reason I think matches now, ladder matches now, are painfully fucking long because there's so many shitty, for some reason, expected cliches of a ladder match that WWE feels obligated to kind of do, and everyone every time goes fucking crazy over it, and it's the biggest thing for 3 days. And with this match, you didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. Like you said, now they're just fucking staging for everything. Where you think, oh, I'm sure he's doing this so he can do the Sami Zayn Generico spot.
Yeah. It's
easy. You know it sucks when you immediately can call it a spot between two people that did it better first.
Right.
Fuck.
And that's what I say.
Do something different.
Nowadays, and I don't even know, maybe it was because this was not something that we had regularly seen back in the year 2000. But nowadays, it's too easy to predict what's coming next in these ladder matches. Like, oh, I know why they're setting that up, because they're going for this. Back then, we'd only had one other tag team ladder match before this, so you couldn't really say, well, they're setting that ladder up because this is the normal spot.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought, really fun match, really well-paced. Commentary was okay. I think JR harped a little too much on Bubba's long stare.
JR's just fucking... I've never been the biggest fan of JR, especially now in 2019. I don't know, but I'll take him over JR any day of the week.
But yeah, I thought this was a great match. I thought it was really fun. It really set the stage. Ooh, I punched my microphone. It really set the stage for what's to come. And what's to come is the next episode in Season 1 of PW Unlimited RankIT, where next week you will see us talk about, rank, and review the TLC match, because now it's tables, ladders, and chairs from SummerSlam 2000. Again, if you are a Patreon or a member subscriber on YouTube, then you will be able to binge watch all these episodes, and you can watch episode 2 right now. If you're watching normal on YouTube and you're not a Patreon or a member subscriber, then you will have to wait till next week for episode 2, which again is SummerSlam 2000.
Yay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I've been Nick. Follow me on Twitter at ArmWeek21. Tim, what's your Twitter?
You can find me basically everywhere at TimmyBuddy.
God damn it. Thank you folks so much. And we'll see you next time.